And we're live. Yep. 3 minutes late, not too bad. How's it going? A nice, mate, a Sunday show. I like it. Yeah, they don't make much sense during the season because you're halfway through the week, but actually, a Sunday show is actually pretty good.
Yeah, and for any of you tuning in for the women's final, you didn't want to miss this pod, so
yeah,
put that on record maybe, or +1.
I suppose that's the other downside of doing Sundays. There's always sport to actually watch rather than watch us mugs. But yeah, come on. I mean, I have you followed it closely, the tourney? I've genuinely only watched.
Not closely. I've watched, like, if I've realised it's on, then I'll watch a bit of it. I've got to say the stand, like, I don't know. I've probably seen more of Germany than England just by chance, and they look decent. So I think that's going to be a tough game for England.
What are the odds on Germany?
I think Germany should be favourites, but because of like it being at home in England, I'm sure England will be favourites. I haven't looked, but I expect Germany are probably a good bet.
Yeah, but Germany on pens, I reckon. Like, it's got to be worth a shout. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it would be typical. But yeah, and then we had the Community Shield yesterday. We had the Championship obviously started yesterday as well. So it almost feels like the season's here now.
Yeah, Matt was saying that I think Burnley were the Friday night game, and obviously Company's the manager now, and he said that they were looking like prime Barca.
I saw a positive headline about it. Yeah.
Such a contrast in styles.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's funny how that can happen.
Like, good for the fans, then, isn't it? Because they've had to put up with. I mean, they did well play in the Prem as long as they did, really, didn't they? But you can't play that brand of football forever.
No, he's one of them as well. Where it does make sense that he would be a good manager. I don't think he did that well at Anderlecht, but I think maybe just there.
Yeah,
your team was on the slide rather than it being anything to do with him. I don't know, but yeah, like, I don't tend to follow the championships that closely. Ryan Orr was usually a pretty poor fantasy player. I was trying to get everyone obviously in the league, and he was like, "Oh, I think I'm going to allow the Prem this year, boys. Does anyone want to do the championship one?" And sent us the link, and it was like, "No, mate."
I would not know where to start with that.
If Leicester was still in the championship, maybe I would do it. But like, you see it, like, seriously, and like the code he said to join his league was like 20 digits long. So it just looks dodgy as like budget as anything.
Maybe they made it like that to make you think that there's shitloads of people in it. Like, oh,
yeah, maybe, yeah. So yeah, like I said, I don't follow it too closely, but yeah, it's Friday now, and what's the Friday game again?
Arsenal away to Palace.
Yeah, Arsenal. Yeah. It's funny because you played Sevilla in a friendly yesterday, innit? And we've got them today, so I don't know. They're obviously like splitting their team across 2 matches. I know, so like we saw the Newcastle did that and Leicester did that one day as well, so it's not unusual. But
yeah, seen Liverpool playing again today. But yeah, I'm guessing that'll just be reserves.
But what are your preseason results? Beat Chelsea 4-0, beat Sevilla 4-0.
Yeah, beat Orlando like 3-1. We beat a German team in our first game 5-3 after being like 3-0 down. So yeah, I think we've won every game. But there's the last 2 games, the Chelsea and the Sevilla, we put our strongest team out. And to be fair, both the teams we played had their strongest team out. So yeah, season don't get too carried away, but it does look good.
Does that mean Sevilla are going to be playing the reserves against Leicester then? Or is it like, is there a bit? There must have been a bit of a mix. Now they must have.
To be honest, we were so dominant. I couldn't even tell you. The only person that I know that played for Sevilla was Lamela because he was getting booed every 2 seconds.
Right,
Expert, but we just absolutely dominated them. So
I think it is a bit quiet at the moment. Obviously, I think maybe the Sunday clash with with the final is doing us some harm. But I still feel like it was worth doing a show today just because to get one out on Sunday and then probably one on Friday before the as the game week's closing before if you're about.
Yeah, we'll do it just before the lineups are announced for the Arsenal game, shall we? Before the
so like game week. So what, the game week will close at what, like 6:30 or?
Let's have a look. So the game starts at 8. Yeah, it'll be 6:30. So we do it at 5:30.
Yeah, and then we'll get the. Or if we do it 5 till 6, we should get the lineups. Oh yeah, we'll see. But we'll get the lineups and the close of the game week. So, hopefully we'll be able to get people's team reveals as well because, obviously once it closes, they can start sharing their teams with us and looking through that.
Good.
We do have Zach watching those standards, so big up Yeah, exactly. Right. So let's get into well. So I wanted to actually start. We normally look at our team to start with, but I wanted to start by just looking at how our leagues are shaping up because I'm quite excited this year, man. We've got obviously last year we started it a bit late and stuff, and like we started the pod quite late, but this year obviously we've had more people start watching us, and we've had a bit more time to prepare. So in the podcast league, and obviously like last season, we basically had enough time to look at everyone's team each week, whereas this year we won't be able to do that because I think we're up to about 20 plus players.
Yeah.
I think.
Is that the main league or is that the head-to-head league? Or
this is the main league. And the other really good thing about it is that, like, sorry, I've just realised that my mic was miles away from me, so I don't know if I've been very quiet.
It's better.
That is better. Yeah,
it was fine, but yeah, it's more beautiful.
Yeah, it's not really the idea to keep your mic like the other side of the table from where you're sitting. But yeah, no, the good thing about this league is that we've expanded a lot. I think we'll definitely. I still don't think cash prizes because we don't want to restrict it. Yeah, but we definitely should be looking at some trophies, some sort of rewards. I don't know.
I was thinking would be maybe a goal for us to set is to, if we are going to give a prize, I was thinking maybe about trying to get Tomlinson to make a signed copy of Mike Bassett. Reach out to him on Twitter.
That's not a bad shout, Yeah. Do you reckon he does those? Maybe he does those like video
memo or whatever it's called.
Yeah, to do like the halftime team talk, but like having a good like.
That'd be awesome. I wouldn't be surprised if he's on there. So yeah, let's try and do that.
But yeah, definitely. Let's think of something, and maybe some stuff throughout the season as well, because we won't be able to look at everyone's team each week, obviously, but we'll pick out the highest and the lowest scores, and then maybe look at the top few. I don't know, like we'll
who's moved up and down.
Exactly. Yeah. But the other good thing about this league as well is that we can trace everyone who's in there, and it's a bit of a mishmash of people. There's people, obviously, a few of your mates, a few of our mates from Bath. We've got a couple of players from my football team in Bristol, a few from uni, a few from Beyond the 90 podcast are on here.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got a proper mix, but I think that it's going to be it should be a fairly high standard because I think the vast majority of players in here, I said maybe with the exception of Neil and maybe Spooner as well, Neil and Spooner, unless they drastically take a different level of interest in it this year, they could be the whipping boys. But yeah, there's a lot of strong players in there who I know for a fact take the game seriously. So
plus they get an expert advice from us. So
exactly that. So yeah, really liking that, and obviously there's one more week to go before the season starts. The link is in the description. We can, I'm sure there'll be a few more joined between here and then.
Yeah.
And then we'll probably, I think, like I was thinking, keep it open until the World Cup, and then when we take the break for the World Cup, we'll close it then, and we won't have any more entries.
Okay.
And then. Yeah, so that's the normal league, obviously, and then the head-to-head league. So I provisionally started a Prem and a Div 2 here, but I realised quite quickly that the Div 2 doesn't really work if I create it because then I'm in both leagues. So, but basically, we've got to a point now where we've just filled up Div 1. And yeah, sorry to any people who aren't in the who are in our normal league and aren't in here because it's kind of in here. We had to prioritize people who were in our head-to-head league last season, and so some other people who kind of follow the podcast more closely. So we're now at the point where this is almost full, and I'm quite excited because I've never been in a 20-team head-to-head.
It's going to be good, isn't it? Like an actual proper league.
Yeah, exactly. So you only play each other twice instead of playing each other every 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah,
you only play each other twice, and we're at 19 now. The last place is reserved for youth. He assured me today that he's been away for like a weekend or something. So he assured me today he will.
Yeah, Snowden, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been up so down. To be honest, I don't know why he hasn't been looking at his fantasy team while he's been up there. But yeah, he assured me he's going to take that last slot. So then we'll be up to 20.
So maybe if we can even get 10 in Div 2 and do what, like top 3 from Div 2 go up?
Yeah, I was thinking exactly that actually. Yeah, so yeah, exactly. We don't. It would be nice to fill Div 2. I think we could easily fit it, next year with one more year of doing the pod. But this year, I think you're right. If we can get up to 10 in there, I'd be pretty happy with that. And then the main thing is to have that threat of relegation. From our league as
Nobody
well.
wants to have that title at the end of the season, do they? So
Nah, exactly. So, well, I guess. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is trying to get someone to set it up who isn't in the Prem. So we need to, if you can think of anyone or if anyone wants to volunteer, we can do that. But I'm sure we'll be able to get someone to do it, and then we can start sharing the code, I guess, a bit wider. Then and like I said, there's other players who are in the normal league who aren't in this Prem division. So yeah, let's try. We've got a week to go. Obviously, with the head-to-head, that's the thing. It needs to be done by the first week. So.
We'll put the link out if we get it sorted, and we'll put the link out on socials, shall we, for people
just don't tell people that it's Div 2 if you don't, like, if you have to, like, do you know what I mean? just don't say it. Just be like, yeah, join our head-to-head league, bro. Like, you gotta be in there. And then it's because they won't even see the league name until they joined, and then they'll realize they're in Div 2, and it's gonna be like tough luck. So yeah, let's do that. And obviously, again, it's gonna take a while to look at both fucking divisions every week, but we'll we'll obviously be checking up on how it's going.
Yeah.
And I think having 20 teams in it really makes it, like, if you win it, to me, it's going to be just as valuable as winning the points league.
Yeah.
One annoying thing.
If you're not doing so well in the points league and you can't catch up, then you can maybe change priorities and focus on the head-to-head or vice versa. So you're never really out of any competition, are you?
Yeah, that too. And I think as well with Manager of the Month in our normal league, again, not necessarily have prizes for it, but we'll definitely track that. And I don't know, maybe we can send out a fucking scratch card or something. I don't know, like I don't know.
The Foxes&Fantasy keyring.
Yeah. But actually, there can't be much to make, can they, from China? We'll just order in like 1,000 or something. Yeah. I just thought while we're on here, actually, let's go back onto the normal league. While we're on it, should we pick out? It might be fun. Let's pick out ones to watch and
okay.
Who are you thinking here is going to be?
I think because he's a nerd with everything else, but maybe not so much football. I would keep an eye on Eamon because he's a fierce competitor and he's getting back into his 30s. So
is he a fantasy player historically, or?
So I think he has done in the past, but I think last season was the first season that he done it properly. I'm not too sure how he got on. I don't know if can you see that? I don't know. If not, then
I love the name as well, Virgin Bombers. Obviously, we know that they're we know where that came from. It is a funny story. So he played last year and he came 4.8 mil. So he's got similar to Greg. I think Greg did a fair bit better than that, to be fair, but similar position where they've had 1 year to sort of get used to the rules. Obviously, it's going to be hard to do well in your first year. I mean, I think I did, but that's actually no, I didn't. I did well in my second year. So I think the first year bed in, Greg obviously 1.5 mil, so he did do a lot better.
Yeah, over 2,000 points is a good score in the first year. Because I was looking through mine earlier, and I've had as low as 1,700 in the past.
Yeah, I think Greg. The good thing with Greg is that he didn't get. He had quite a shit start, but he didn't throw the towel in. I know he talked about.
That's the key.
He talked about it, but he stuck with it, and he did do a lot better. I think definitely, he'd be. I think he's one to watch out for sure. I think you got Josh Advani. He wasn't in our league last year, but he had a dip in form last season. He's normally
too many league boys in there
against him, and he took the league off me for 2 or 3 years in a row. So definitely one to watch if he regains some form. Yeah, and then I don't know, Reedy. It's a long time since Reedy did anything. Didn't he used to be?
It is. He's all talking no trousers, isn't he? But
He used to be like I think it was in the Fergie days when he actually probably liked football a bit more. But he used to be like the man for I think
yeah.
We're stretching back a decade now, but he used to be the man. So I don't know. Like it seems like it's about time that he sort of stepped up.
I sent him a screenshot of my latest team earlier, and he wasn't really feeling it. So then I asked him to show me his, and he wouldn't. So
do you reckon he's got Bruno?
I won't put it past him. Dallo, I'm sure he'll have Dallo.
We got Chris Ball, my uncle. He yeah, from what I've heard, well, from what he said, he's pretty talented.
Who's this?
That's Chris, my uncle.
Oh, your uncle, yeah.
Yeah, so he just
I hope he's better at this than he is at golf.
To be honest, though, I get the feeling that he's nice dig there. No, I get a feeling that he says he wins his league, but I don't know who's in there. Do you know what I mean? I have a feeling this could be his first time in a proper competitive.
Might be a bit much for him.
It might be. Smabby got a long way to go. I mean, last year he was one of the whipping boys in that head to head. He was almost a guaranteed 3 points there. So,
but Daniel Till did all right in the head to head, didn't he? And Glenn Richardson, I see.
And Glenn, who's in here as well. Yeah, exactly. A couple of the boys that beyond the 90, I think, could be to look out for. And then
who's Mark Manderfield? That's a superb name.
That is again. I think that's another. I believe his podcast is called "It's 11 is Heaven" from the famous Vardy quote. So yeah, another Leicester podcast. Go and check him out.
Good man.
Also, Ed has recommended, or Ed has linked us to this Joshua Corran. So he's one of the few that's been shared by association, and from what I said, he's a very handy player down in Australia. So,
is his team name actually penned in moderation, or it is actually penned in moderation because of the because I've seen somebody else with the same name. I don't know if people are just copying each other or if it is genuinely like a bit of a dodgy name. That's a very
good question. I feel like they've gone for that name, but do you know what? Because I was going to say that I am TBC, as in to be confirmed. Because when I first logged in, I was like, I normally come up with a new name every year. Nothing came to mind. Leicester haven't fucking signed anyone yet, so I was just like TBC. And then about a week ago, I think, probably when we did the podcast last week, I changed it to but it wasn't. Even the one I changed it to was like a placeholder because I still hadn't decided on a name. Yeah. So I went for like Savage Mode, which is a 21 Savage tune. And it's still TBC. And when I click on it, it's like, your new name needs to be checked basically by the moderator.
Okay.
It's taking fucking forever.
But it's going to end up with loads of pending moderations.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to start with the name TBC. Time is running out. I don't even really want to start with the name Savage Mode, but at the moment, there's like nothing I can do about it. So it is what it is. Just a couple of other shout outs. We got Sean Pearce and Ben Pocock, or Peps as he's better known, who are from my footy team in Bristol. Potentially wants to watch, but certainly Peps has got to step up a lot from his last few seasons. And then Ngai Thomas is a mate of Zach's from Hong Kong. So, yeah, proper international feel to it as well. We got players from Down Under, a player who's going to be playing from Hong Kong shortly. We got Ayman and Yus, a couple of Arabs, like flying the flag.
We're all about diversity on this channel.
Exactly. Me and Greg, we claim to be we argue we're Italian. Greg was actually born there, so fair play to him. Billy Vank, India, but
you got the full English breakfast.
Peru or Mexico. Yeah, and then we've got a few gammon in there as well. Don Manny, the Egypt representation. So I'm liking it. We've got an international flavour. We've got different groups and subsets in there. So it was not to like. Exactly. And if anyone wants to join in, like we say, the link is in the description. Right, that's a lot to go through. Should we go for? Let's have a look at our teams. Normally we start with yours because I can't be asked to share, but let's do it. I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm here. Mate, Oh my god! I don't know if I've ever. I don't know. I can't remember. Do I always tinker this much with my team, or is it like this season?
I think I'm over tinkering for sure.
I feel I'm just particularly undecided, man. Like, and the thing is, like, normally, like your. Let me go on my Sorry, let me go on my transfers, and you can see the whole squad.
Yeah.
I reckon normally you're like picking between the sort of 7-6 mil players, and like you're normally pretty set on your the premiums.
Yeah.
And then it's more like the rest, which they also don't really have as much sort of importance because you could pick a Coutinho or a Maddison or whatever. Like it's like you base it on fixtures or whatever. But this season, because fixtures aren't really an issue, and it's the choice of premiums that is the key. It's like if you go for Salah, then like now I've had Diaz in before. Now I've gone for Salah, so I'm not going for Diaz. Or if you go for Son, you might not go for Kulusevski. So like whichever premiums you decide to go with, change it massively.
It does.
And I've also had Haaland right up until yesterday. And I know it's not just reactionary from the game. We'll touch on the game in a sec, but it's not just reactionary from that. It's like, A, they've got West Ham away.
Yeah.
And B, it's like you can save 2.5 mil between him and Nunes, which is quite a lot. And, and then, you can, in my case now, I've got two premiums. I've got Salah De Bruyne or Salah Son, which I think I haven't had up until now. I've only had one in the midfield.
And you got two premium defenders as well.
Yeah, exactly. So really, you've got. I mean, I would say that Jesus, even though he's 8 mil, is basically a premium this season. I would say that the difference between Nunes and Haaland at this point is quite minimal. Even though he didn't start in the Charity Shield, do you reckon he'll start the first game of the season?
Darwin?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he will.
I think so.
And I'm not sure that Haaland's 100% fit. Like, I remember Pep said before the Charity Shield that he needs to like improve his fitness a bit. I'm sure that he'll start game week 1, but I just don't know if it's going to take him a few weeks to bed in. He is obviously, in my opinion, like world-class striker, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's the Premier League.
I absolutely do not doubt he's going to get a lot of goals, but for a striker, if he gets 20 goals in the season and Darwin gets 15, is that worth 2.5 mil? I don't know. Maybe just about.
I think for me, it's more like KDB's 0.5 more. And I just think that he'll outscore. I think KDB will outscore Haaland. And if you've got two City defenders, which equal the same price, so for example, Diaz and Edison would be 11.5, I think they'll also outscore Haaland. Yeah. So it's not a case of we don't rate him. It's just that I want to see. In seasons gone by, like someone like him, I'd be like, yeah, he's the first name on my team sheet. He's going to smash it. But experience shows that it's best to stick with tried and tested the first few weeks. And, if he does capture the first game, you just got to take it on the chin. Yeah,
but the other thing is obviously looking at the very first game, Liverpool have got Fulham away and Man City have gone West Ham away. And on paper, it's just a much, much more difficult fixture. But after that, it starts to get seriously tasty for City. Having said that, Liverpool obviously their first two were what, Fulham and is it Palace or
Palace? Yeah,
Fulham and Palace, and then obviously you got United sandwiched in there, but then you still got Bournemouth, Newcastle.
Yeah, 2 home games.
And Wolves, so. That's the thing. Fixtures just aren't really a consideration. So then it comes down to price for me, really.
Yeah.
I'm even tempted. So basically, where I've gone here, I had to downgrade I had to downgrade to a 4.5 keeper. I don't really want to.
It's not a great bracket this year, is it? I mean, no. Sanchez always does what he does, but
I mean, the Brighton are just generally quite, because they keep a lot of the ball.
Yeah,
and they don't have the most prolific strikers. They don't tend to.
That's how I look at it. It's rare that they'll concede more than 2 in a game, isn't it?
Exactly, and they should get a fair few clean sheets. I mean, obviously they start with United. United's still a bit of an unknown. I don't have any United players in this team. So, yeah, I don't know. And I would also prefer to have Trent than Robertson, to be honest. But again,
there's not much in it, is there? But if you need the 0.5 elsewhere, then I wouldn't put you off doing that. But yeah, I think Trent probably will outscore him again by like 20 points ish.
I couldn't really shave. I can't really shave anything off this team because other than if I want to swap for, I might still swap De Bruyne for Son at 12, especially for that first game with West Ham. It could easily that might be my first transfer. Is I start with Son and then I put in De Bruyne.
Yeah, but at least you've got Kulusevski to sort of counter Son if you don't go for Son.
Exactly. That's a consideration. Do I really want to double up on Tottenham and already decide my transfer for the next week, or do I just stick with this? I don't know. I'm considering that, but and then swapping the only position here where I think I could potentially save money is if I swapped Kulusevski for Grealish or Coutinho are both a mil cheaper.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Without having Son, it's like I feel like I need to have Kulusevski if I'm not going to have Son.
Yeah, I think that's the choice. And then because you've already got Bailey, Coutinho would be a bit overkill on Villa.
Exactly.
And
I'm quite happy with the Bailey choice. Yeah. So I'm quite happy with the Bailey choice. So it feels like again, it's not really worth doing that. And then Grealish, just too much of an unknown still for me. It's still like So
you'll play 4-4-2 with that, then I'm guessing.
Exactly. So this would be my first team would be 4-4-2. A lot of away fixtures, but obviously it's Liverpool and City.
I'm the same, but those teams that start away have the back-to-back home games in like game week 4 and 5. So
yeah. The other one is Justin at 4.5. I think I'm a bit torn between him and Castagna. I'm just hoping that we'll keep a clean sheet against Brentford, and then we've got Arsenal away second game, so not ideal. But then Southampton at home third game.
The season that he was smashing it, Justin, people wouldn't hesitate to put him in at 4.5, would they? It's just the uncertainty over Leicester's potential this season.
Yeah, and also, he came back from a serious knee injury midway through last season and never really found his form again. I was thinking earlier, he got capped for England, didn't he, at the start of the summer?
Yeah.
It wasn't just my imagination. Like I was
he did,
No, he actually did. So, and also, I think with Leicester, that's the thing. I'm also tempted by Castagna at the same price, but I feel like Justin is more nailed on to be left back with Thomas as the backup, and Castagna and Ricardo will be battling for right back. And I'm pretty sure Castagna will be first choice. But Ricardo is also quite, a quality player, so I don't know. I'm just a bit more unsure about that. The other 4.5 options in defense are obviously like Wolves, Kilman.
Yeah, Kilman.
You had Kilman. I don't know if you still do.
Who?
Kilman, because you had him at one point.
No, I took him out for now just because I'm just not sure about Wolves overall. They have got good fixtures.
I think Mings isn't a bad chat, or Mings or White.
So I had Mings briefly, but he's had the captaincy taken off him, hasn't he? And McGinn's a new captain, and they brought in that Diego Carlos. So I don't know whether there's a bit of a question mark. I'm sure he will, but the other 4.5s that are more nailed.
I saw an interview about that, and I think Joe was just saying it will allow him to concentrate on his football and get better, which, it is a clear indication that he wasn't particularly impressed by his performances, but I think he will still start. And he does get the odd goal from, from corners and stuff as well. Not many. And then, White. I'm still, obviously, Tomiyasu, we're not sure. We're not quite sure about his start.
I doubt he's going to start the first game week because, he didn't play any minutes yesterday. He's only just returned to training, and White started at right back, Saliba centre back. So I think, and the way Saliba's playing, I can see him keeping that position. So it is a bit of a tricky one for me between White and Saliba. But the first week you should be all right with either of those. But when Tomiyasu does come back, it'll be interesting to see which one of those gets this right centre back spot.
I mean, even Burn at 4.5, I've already got Trippier, so I won't. But he's a giant, so you'd expect him to get,
I used to put him in for Brighton there. He doesn't really get. He's obviously they aim for him, but I don't think did he score that many?
He's only scored 1 goal in each of the last 2 seasons. So
Yeah.
surprising, really. You think he'd be a bit of a weapon, like the giant. Kufal 4.5, not bad. Obviously, they got Man City first game, but I've already just noticed that. That's not bad.
Yeah, Walker Peters as well, but again, they got Spurs first game, so
yeah, a lot of question marks around. There always are around Southampton. You just don't like. They always seem to be like just keeping their heads above water, sort of thing.
I've seen that Patterson has started a lot of games for Everton at 4 mil.
Does he?
Yeah, but
they signed. Yeah, I think he's quite young, isn't he? But they signed him from. I think he was
a Scottish team, wasn't it?
Yeah, obviously he didn't play at all last season, but yeah, it was a Scottish team. Yeah, 4 mil could be a good option.
Yeah, but again, tricky fixtures.
Yeah, tricky question fixtures, and that's the thing with Everton. It's like psychologically they're still, a sort of mid-table top half team, but I really don't know if last year was just a one-off or whether they're going to be right down there again.
I think they'll be bottom half again. I'm not sure how far down, but yeah.
And then your pick is all the way, because this is obviously
team selected by.
Yeah, exactly. Team selected by. And your pick, we got to go bottom half of the second page for Ryan.
Hiding away out of everyone's view. Just how I like it.
I do agree with you. It's a bit of a surprise, but I guess most people just think Perisic is going to go straight in the team at left wing back, right?
It's even better for me because they played Roma last night. And Perisic started and played 75 minutes, and by all accounts, I watched the highlights, and he did look pretty good. But Conte has already said he's not his exact quote was, "He's not the Perisic I know," as in he's not up to speed because I think he had an injury. Right. So in my mind, they just played him to get the minutes, and Sessegnon's going to start. That just confirms to me that he is going to start the first week. Again, how long that will last, I don't know. But at home to Southampton, I think I'm willing to take the chance. If he gets an assist or something, he could hold his place for a couple of weeks. So
yeah.
It's one of those where it could be like, if a lot of people do put Perisic in and he doesn't play, and I've got Sessegnon and he does something, then it's like a double bonus for me.
And that's what I'm thinking with Justin as well, because we've got Brentford at home first game, and I just think if we can get a clean sheet there, which it is a possibility, I think that will give me a little leg up on no one's going to have any lesser players in their defense, I don't think. So I'm hoping that'll be a little differential there. Yeah. I don't want to give away the secret to everyone, but just to say, like, I did spot basically what he scored. He got a goal and an assist against United in a friendly. Gerrard then came out and said he's come back a different player. I remember last year that he was injured all the time, but when he did play, 750 minutes, 37 points isn't a bad return, like 3 assists and a goal.
I had him on Footy Index back in the day, and he's getting rumoured linked to like Man City and bigger teams, but he's definitely got ability.
He's jumped to 7.9. He was 7 yesterday.
I mean, you look at the rest
yesterday.
Yeah, that's it. He scored again, and you look at the other players in that bracket, and the way that he's played in pre-season, you're just thinking he's got to start. They haven't really got that much pace in wide areas, so he is quite unique to their team. So I think that there's a very high chance he's going to start, and I think his ownership will go up, but even before the game week starts.
I would quite like Madders as well, to be honest. But I think with the rumours about Newcastle and stuff, that's just completely. It's I can't do it until the transfer window closes, basically, because how many times do we see, players lose their focus or whatever? Trippier, I'm liking. Obviously, I usually like to have a stronger bench than this, and Ed has sent me his team, and he's got a really strong bench, and I hinted to him, I don't want to tell people what to do, but I hinted that might be a bit of a mistake because he didn't have Salah, Son, or De Bruyne. And if you do watch this, you do you. I think it might actually work out. Obviously, he's got a really, really strong squad, but with the 5 subs, we've discussed it before. With the 5 subs, just think even if these players aren't going to start, they are in all likelihood going to come on, and so the bench just doesn't feel as important this year. I mean, last year I did try and have a strong bench, or at least 2 strong throughout. But I still and out of these, we expect Williams and Andreas to start, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you can find a 4 and a 4.5 that are nailed, then they've got to go in, haven't they? Because they're what they call enablers for the rest of your team. So
yeah, again, I would prefer Dewsbury Hall than Andreas. Definitely, I'd like to have him first sub, but that extra 0.5 is just like I can't. I've got to the point now. I'm quite happy with this team. I don't know about De Bruyne or Son, but it's very, very difficult to shave any money off of there. Very difficult. Yeah. All right, cool. Let's have a look at yours. Let's see where you're at. My team kit, not too sure about it. I just threw it together at the last minute. But yeah, we do have to think of someone to open the second head-to-head division as well. I gotta try and think. We need a code at like ASAP. So
we'll sort that after this. We'll get one of the Jesses to do it, or
yeah, exactly.
Or if Zach's up for it.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe. Yeah. All right, cool. Go for it.
So yeah, same as you. I'm pretty set now. Obviously, at one point I did have Salah, KDB, and Son, but it's just too. As much as it looks great on paper, it just seriously affects the rest of the team. So yeah, I've swapped Son out of Kulusevski to save that 4 mil and basically strengthen the defense. So yeah, I've got Trent and Cancelo, Edison in goal. Like, I'm trying to put as many players because I'm prone to making too many transfers. I'm trying to put the players in that I would usually transfer in, if you see what I mean, because I've tried to be a bit like nerdy in the first instance and just be safe and be like, you're nailed, you like, all season. And I think one thing that I've seen a lot of teams aren't really doing when I'm having a little look around Twitter is a lot are still going with the Jesus and Haaland combination, and fair enough, that is on paper lethal. But
yeah,
Jesus at 8 mil, he's nailed to start every game, surely, isn't he, for the whole season?
He's got to be, yeah, he's got to be.
So I'm just thinking, like I always say, like the strikers aren't the greatest value, so I'm just going to go with the one up front until he gets injured or whatever. Then I
think Greg was looking at doing that as well. I think who was his striker? I can't remember now, but I think Greg was doing the same. Yeah. It's not a bad shout, to be fair.
Obviously, I've copied you with Bailey, and because I had
four of our 5 midfielders are currently the same. But
yeah,
I don't know if that's just because we obviously we do the pod and we chat a lot in the background about our teams, but I think it's just when you actually keep whittling it down, your options, especially looking at that first game week fixture, and it's like those are the ones.
I've got my 3 Liverpool and my 3 City, and we know that they're miles clear of everyone else, so I just can't see that going too wrong. I am starting to, like you, I'm starting to question Diaz now because he's one of those. He's lively and he's great to watch, but is he actually going to ever be that great on fantasy?
Greg
again, no goal and assist again yesterday.
I think he is unproven, and Greg was saying this too. And we're now in me and you are in a shape where it's basically a Diaz versus Nunes battle. And so it's basically Nunes and who's my other midfielder? No. It's probably another defender. You're not playing 4-4-2, are you? What are you playing? 4-5-1?
4-5-1, yeah.
4-5-1. Yeah. So I've got a slightly cheaper midfield, but you've obviously got but I'm playing 4-4-2, so I'll put my money in attack instead.
Yeah, I mean, I can easily swap Diaz for like a Mount, or Saka's one I'm thinking because he took the penalty yesterday, which is pretty annoying because I was pretty certain Jesus was going to be on him because we haven't really got a regular penalty taker. Saka took one, I think it was the last game of the season or the second last game of the season.
Yeah.
Just because Lacazette wasn't playing. I wasn't expecting him to carry on because obviously he missed that penalty in the Euros. Every penalty I've seen him take, they've gone in, but they're not right in the corner. He doesn't look like a natural penalty taker.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's on corners as well, Saka. So it could be, and the form we're in, he might be a better shout than Diaz to start with. But I think I probably will give Diaz a chance the first game. If you don't do anything against Fulham, then that might be a transfer I'm looking to make in the second game week.
Yeah, I've had Saka in a couple of drafts recently, but then I thought I'm a little bit worried. Even though they just scored 2 each in the friendly yesterday, I'm a little bit worried about having a Saka and Jesus. I don't know. Like, Arsenal are looking strong. I'm not going to lie, they are looking strong, but
he's not that clinical. Saka, I think he scored 11 and assisted 9 last season, but he could have had a load more, and he hasn't really improved from what I've seen on his finishing, especially on his weaker foot. Martinelli, I would say, has probably actually looked better than him in pre-season, but he just hasn't got the goals or assists. But he looks like he's improved. So I would
he's obviously only 6 mil, which is a completely different price bracket. At 8 mil, it's very, very competitive. We touched on this last time, but it's difficult to pick around 8-7 mil because there's those Man City choices, but again, it's just too difficult. Like Foden, Mahrez, Grealish. Obviously Mahrez started yesterday, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if he doesn't start the first game of the season. It's just
I just can't be dealing with trying to second guess Pep and then have all the stats and everything in front of me that says Mahrez is definitely going to start and then he doesn't. So the only time I think I would put Mahrez in is if Bernardo leaves, because there's rumours, isn't there, that he's. I didn't really understand this talk with Barcelona. Like, obviously they've already spent loads. They supposedly agreed a fee, but he played yesterday, so I didn't really. I think he'll probably stay, but.
Yeah, and like that's why I think KDB becomes such an important choice, because it's just you don't have to worry about that side of it. Like it's like he is the nail down one.
I think a lot of people will put Walker in after yesterday, considering did he play the whole 90? I can't remember.
I think so.
I mean, they're not going to sign Cucurella or anyone else in time for the start of the season, so they have got good fixtures. So he could be a good cheap entry into City defence for the first few weeks.
Yeah, again, I've fallen for that trap before, so I don't want. Also, when he does play, he doesn't provide many attacking, rewards. But yeah, you might be right. 6.7% at the moment, so not bad.
I would prefer Gabriel to White as well, just because the left centre back spot's more nailed and White doesn't score and Gabriel does. But again, I'm 0.5 short, and that would mean downgrading Bailey to like a Pereira or Josh De Silva I had before. Bailey was a good shout. He's surely going to start those first few weeks, and obviously they got Bournemouth first, so.
Yeah, they've got a few good fixtures. I think the first.
He could easily go if he scores. He could easily go up 0.2 in a week.
Definitely, definitely. I suppose you really wish if Jesus doesn't play for whatever, but I'd like to say there's absolutely no risk of that happening, so it's not even one to worry about. But no backup up front, so you just have to. I suppose if he does get injured or something, just replace him straight away. And the other no one actually talks about, and I haven't even thought about either, like any other striker options. I briefly thought about Vardy yesterday.
What was he, 9 or 9.5 this season?
9.5. So again, he's slightly more expensive than Nunes, which probably tips the balance for me. But you got you got Antonio, who obviously last season got off to a flyer, and me not having him was really costly.
Mitrovic.
Yeah, Mitrovic, Tony. I've seen maybe the scout or whatever tip Martial a little bit.
Can't have him myself, but
no, not me.
I can understand why some United fans might put him in, but Havertz as well. I just think he could do better this season, but I'm not completely sold on him either.
Ronaldo obviously desperately wanting out, and there's only just agreed to feature for them. I saw they lost to Atletico Madrid in a friendly yesterday.
I haven't really seen any highlights of it. I know Sancho didn't play because he had a sickness bug or something. I did have Rashford at one point, but I just can't trust him from the off.
No.
I'm surprised that Calvert-Lewin hasn't gone down in price. I really thought he might go down to like 7 or at least 7.5.
Yeah, he was absolute dog shit last season. I know he was injured for a while, but even when he played, he must have scored. How many did he score last season? Like 4? 5. Alcaraz, I didn't even realize he was a striker. I don't know why.
No, neither did I.
He looked good yesterday, though. But obviously,
Matt was talking about having. I don't know if this is a great shout or not, but he's on about having Haaland and Alvarez, just so that you've got the City striker covered if one of them doesn't start for whatever reason, and then obviously they're still good enough when they come on to do something as well. But 6.5, I think, is a bit much when we don't really know about.
Yeah. I think if Vardy gets injured, I quite like Daka at 6. Not gonna lie, no, I did it.
He's gone down a mil, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did it last season when Vardy got injured, and he didn't really do very much, to be fair. But he has looked a lot better in preseason, and I think at 6 mil, he could prove to be a bargain. Tony,
12 goals, 5 assists, and he's on penalties. I mean, he is good value. I'm just not sure with Eriksen not there where their creativity is coming from. Again, I think they're one that I'm going to have to watch and see what they're up to.
Most people are going for Taylor as a 4.5, but I did look into him, and he wasn't. I don't think he's a regular starter, so I don't think it makes any difference.
It's got to be plunged, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think that. I saw yesterday. They played a friendly. He didn't come on, so not good signs in terms of him getting that many minutes. But I think he'll be on the bench. He'll be knocking on the door, and hopefully, you never know. He might come on and make an impact.
Yeah, hopefully I won't have to use him, but if I do for whatever reason, then
could jump in price a bit as well, because he's obviously, I don't know what, I mean, he must be selected by like no one.
Yeah, 2%.
2%. So even if he comes on and gets one goal at 4.5, people will jump on him. So yeah, hopefully.
I think Haaland's ownership's gone down about 5% since yesterday.
Yeah. I have had him in right up until now. I'm still a little bit worried about not having him in, but yeah. And Harry Kane. We're looking at Harry Kane a bit. Neither of us have really talked about him or had him in any of our drafts.
Yeah, I mean, every season he's you think about it, back here when he was an out and out striker, fair enough. But now he's playing this like number 10, dropping deep and like putting Son in behind. I think he's going to be more of this, which is good, but for 11.5 as a striker, I think Salah or KDB are going to do more.
If he replicates any of those other seasons, 25, 29, 23 goals. But like Son.
There's no coincidence, is it, that when he's scoring loads, he's not assisting, and when he's not scoring as many, he's assisting more. So
yeah, that's very true. Yeah, that is very true. Yeah. So how set are you on this team now? What's your starting lineup? I think
my starting lineup is.
It'd be interesting to see if either of us, because I'm quite set on it now. But obviously on Friday, deadline day, we'll see if we'll make any changes between now and then.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty set on this. I'd probably say the only one is I need to just check on White and what's going on there. Could be a swap to Saliba. It's a bit of a dodgy one, that. But other than that, and then Diaz, like I said, I think I'll probably stick with him. Yeah, I'm happy with it. Other than that, I think it will be a tough game for City, but they can still do bits against West Ham, and then I don't have to worry about making any transfers next week to get any City boys in.
The thing is, if you put Son in, you would still captain Salah, wouldn't you? I think
that's the thing. Like, I didn't have Salah for ages, and then after watching him yesterday, he just still looks like an animal. So
yeah,
I just think you can't really not have him.
Yeah. And even yesterday, see, Trent got the goal, but Robertson still got an assist, isn't it? So it is tight between those two. And if I had the extra 0.5, I would love to go for Trent, but I just can't find it. I really like the Trippier option, just because I think he's got to be on free kicks and probably corners as well. And
that's the only thing I would like to try and find a way to boost White to a 5 mil defender. So you get Trippier. He's going to be on. He's a captain. He's going to play every game. He's going to be on set.
Zinchenko. I like Zinchenko as well.
That's the thing. There's Zinchenko, Gabriel, Trippier, Cucurella potentially if he moves, Walker. So 5 mil is like, pretty decent. It's just hard to find it in this team. I mean, Edison is 5.5, but you know what you're getting. I guess I could downgrade it.
There's the Mendy option. So you've upgraded and I've downgraded from Mendy, and it's like Mendy seems to be the sort of testing line, whether you're going to go above or below. Because if you're going to go at 5, it's obviously going to be Mendy, basically. So but at the moment, neither of us. I'm also hoping, like the thing is with the keeps, obviously, if you get a clean sheet, great. it is a nice little boost. But you never, unless they save a pen or something, or they're in a lower team where they make a load of saves, they're never going to get bonus or anything like that.
No, they're not. I just look at it as, on average, he's going to get about 18, 19 clean sheets, and you wouldn't find a striker for 5.5 that's going to get 19 goals.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I look at that. The only thing I'm just a bit worried about is that if there is still a chance that one of these doesn't start or get any minutes, then I've only got Nico Williams. If I have two don't play, then I'm in trouble because obviously these two aren't going to play at all. But I'm pretty sure these are all going to start, and if they don't, they'll come on.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is, your points come from your captain choice and then your other premium. And then I think everyone else around that is acceptable. So, yeah.
All right, just quickly before we go, Leicester are playing in 5 minutes, and obviously there's England-Germany. I saw it's 0-0 at half time. I think the second half's just starting, so we'll join everyone else and watch that. But what was I going to say? So yeah, the last thing I was going to say is the money league. So obviously it's tenors in.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone wants to get involved and drop a comment or whatever. But aside from the Foxes&Fantasy League, we do have a £10 money league. So if you want to get involved, let us know.
Yeah, there should be about at least 20 of us in it, I reckon. So you got a £200 prize pool, which will, once we know how many are in it, then I'll let everyone know the prize structure. But for 20 people, it'll probably be the first 3. Maybe the fourth will put get your money back, £10 for fourth.
Yeah.
And then split the rest. But yeah, if you're interested, give me a shout or leave a comment on the video and we'll sort that out.
Yeah, cool. All right. Well, yeah, definitely. Obviously, we've got a lot of players on our league. We are keeping it free, but like I say, if you want to put some money on the line, we do have that option as well. And obviously, Rye's got another one, which I think I'll probably enter to. And let's see how good I'm getting sort of excited and nervous now, both just to start the Premier.
Yeah, I'm not really looking forward to
a bad start this year, and this year I feel like if I can get off to a good one, I could be back. I'm back in business. So
I feel like that. The same thing applies to Arsenal. It's like away to Palace, they don't get much trickier in terms of teams outside the top 6 that you're visiting on a Friday night as well, and their fans are going to be up for it. If we can get off to a good start, that can put us in good stead for the season.
You don't want to have a shit start on Friday night as well.
No. And then everyone else around you wins comfortably. It's not a good look.
No.
I swear we've played a lot of season openers the last few. I know we played you.
Yeah, we had Leicester.
Yeah, you boys. That was back in 2016. But since then we had. I think we played Liverpool once, first game of the season. Brentford last season, we were first game.
I remember that. If we lost, obviously, I remember. Yeah, I remember that. That was when the difference between where you were last season, everyone going nuts about the state of the club, to this season. It must be a lot. So Leicester still not signed anyone, still not sold anyone. Hopefully, we won't sell Madders or Fofana with one.
Yeah, I was going to say actually, I just seen David Ornstein tweet a couple of hours ago saying that Chelsea are preparing a bid for Fofana, but also Dumfries. I don't know who he plays for, but I don't know if it's one or the other or both. But
Sky Sports 43 minutes ago, Chelsea working on deal to sign Leicester City's central defender. I mean, we do actually have slightly too many centre defenders now because with last season we had injury problems. But I think the whole mood around the club, if we sold him, considering we haven't signed anyone, he's our best player.
He's someone you can build a team around a bit, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, and he just signed a 2-year extension to make it a 5-year contract last season. When he came back from injury, the Sky article is saying the asking price could be prohibitive, with reports suggesting they could demand up to 85 million. I mean, I'm not surprised. It's $5 million on his contract, 5 years on his contract. We sold Harry Maguire for 80. So I suppose if it was a record price for a defender, we'd have the first and second most expensive defenders in history.
Yeah.
And
Chilwell as well.
And Chilwell right there as well. So it's hard to say no to that, but I would be.
I mean, the problem is if that's going to look like you're selling your best players. Okay, you've got the money, but who's going to want to come?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's so little time left to sort it to find replacements now, and it's
not exactly looking like an exciting project to be part of, is it?
No.
You have to take a few risks on pay over the odds for some young players from other leagues probably. Or
Exactly. Like we could if we sold Fofana and Madison for 140 mil, like great. Like we made loads of profit. Like we got good prices for them. But fucking hell, we'll be going seriously backwards. I mean, already not signing anyone is already sort of going backwards. So I'm a bit worried, man. I'm sort of like I need to like get to the end of August and have that transfer window closed ASAP. Yeah. But yeah, let's see how it goes. We've got first game. First game is obviously home to Brentford on Sunday. Sunday, United and City both playing on Sunday as well. I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, man.
All right, cool. We'll end it there. All right.
We'll see everyone next Friday then.
Yeah, Friday. Come on. I understand. I fully understand. Today we've had the footy's on. It's quite sunny outside as well. Like yeah, fair enough. But Friday night, as the game week's closing, and the Arsenal game is starting, we gotta get it. We gotta get a lot of people on for that. So we'll catch you on Friday. Nice one, Davis. And,
see you in a bit.
See you in a bit.